Hello, good morning. I thought I would bring you in the studio today um, to show you what I'm working on. This is a kind of a two-part, not two-part, but two reasons why I'm filming this. One is just to show you the newest journal that I'm working on, and the other one is I'm going to be I wanted to share the process of where I'm just like playing in the dollar store journal that I had mentioned in one of my earlier videos. So we're going to start with what I'm working on right now. So this is the journal that's going to be coming out this week. She's almost done. Today's Wednesday, so yeah, it'll be coming out Friday. I still have to take photos of her and all that sort of thing. So she'll be coming out on Friday, but I love this. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. Excuse me. Okay, so yeah, so she's coming out on Friday. So that's what I've been working on with her. And then, of course, there's the dollar store journal. So I have shared this before, where I had just went to the dollar store and I bought an inexpensive sketchbook. It literally said sketch on the cover. So, and it just has blank, pages inside. So the reason I was filming this or sharing that with you in my other video is because I just wanted to show that you can just go and buy an inexpensive sketchbook or some type of book and use it as your art journal. So I've done dolled up my front cover, and I just used some shipping tape, brown shipping tape. This is like some drywall tape and some other things. And then yesterday I added this button. So I literally just used my awl tool and I poked 2 holes in it, and I used embroidery floss to attach the button. And then on the other side, I punched a hole through it, and then I used a grommet because I wanted to make sure the hole, didn't wear out. And then I just used a cord and just looped it. So it's just like that. So it's knotted, and then it just loops like that. And I left a little bit of give on it, just so if this journal expands as it's getting fuller, there's a little bit of room. But worst case, if it's not enough, and as the journal becomes a little bit fatter with everything, all the art that goes into it, this is not a big deal to replace because it just pulls out, and then I can make a new one, a new loop cord. So anyway, that was that simple. Just thought I'd share that part with you so you could, as an idea for your own art journal if you're going a route like this. So the inside cover like this, I had shared this before. I just did this, and then I had shared, I think, a very quick video on as I did this one here. So what I wanted to talk about is, so this is how the pages look originally. Okay, so it's just simple, boring, blank pages. So what I do, and you can continue on and do this through the whole journal as you're going through. So I'm not filling all the pages right now and prepping them, so to speak, or adding little additional add-ons. I'm not doing that. I'm working it as I go along. So nothing's being done other than maybe, jumping in a page or two and putting some gesso on a page just to prep it, especially if I'm going to be doing like watercolor, acrylic, that sort of thing. You could also add some collage to it, meaning some book pages, and just glue them down with like Mod Podge or matte medium, just to add a little bit of bulk to the page, especially when they're so thin, especially if you're going to be working with like acrylics, heavy acrylic, that sort of thing. So it helps kind of reinforce the original page a bit better. So another thing you can do is that I like to do when I'm working in a pre-existing journal. You can also do this with journals that you buy when you're buying a handmade journal like this. Okay, so this sort of journal as well, where it's handmade. It is not a big deal to, you know, it's easy, is what I mean to say. It's easy to just go in and add more to the existing pages, right? You could use hand stitching and just use some thread and needle and stitch on a page, some basic masking tape here, and just add another, so this has another element to this page here. There's other little things, so like you could just add things. There's another one here where it goes up, so it's, you know, whatever pages are already pre-existing in any kind of a journal that you're using, it's super simple to just continue to add more to it, to give yourself more surface space, more pages to it. So but in this case, I'm going to be using, obviously, the dollar store journal. And that's what I did here. I just added this to this pre-existing page. So yesterday, near the end of the day, I did this. So it was just some simple scribble flowers that I did. And then I used a lot, my main colors were acrylic inks. So I did that as well with some water and that kind of thing. I love working with acrylic inks. They kind of have like a watercolor feel to it when you add water to it and everything. So I love that. This is the bookmark that I had shared in a video using contact paper. So that's my another little addition. So I thought I would work on this page here and just kind of have you watch me do that. So I'm not sure exactly. I'm thinking I might do just a simple charcoal sketch. And where is a pencil? Yeah, this is fine. Okay. Got things in my way here. Okay, so this page was previously prepped with some gesso. It's just a little, you know, light coating of gesso. And then it's got some acrylic ink on here from the excess ink I had on the brush, on my paintbrush from when I was working on this. Actually, why don't I just do a simple flower sketch, because the face sketch will take a long time. This video is already getting on. All right, so if I wanted to kind of carry on, but I want to do more of a black and white kind of theme too. So I think I'll like to keep it the color palette simple. So I'm going to just do some scribble. That's the center of the flower. And I'm going to do like one of these, so the petals are kind of downwards as opposed to going all the way around. So I'm just going to there's one. I'll do a little one here. Okay, I think I'll keep it like that. I'm just going to scribbles for leaves. Again, keeping it super simple, not wanting to overthink it. These pages are curling a bit. I'm just going to put a little paper clip just to, okay. So now that I've done that, with just basic pencil, and I don't always start my flower sketches with pencil, but it's just because I thought I was doing a face sketch, I just happened to have a pencil in my hand. All right, so now I'm just going in with a regular black pen because I like to do that, and I'm just going to loosely go over the lines. It doesn't matter if it's not an exact trace of it. And then I'm just going to do the same thing with this and loosely go over those lines. And there we go. Okay, nice and simple. Now I'm going to come in with some color. So you've seen me in my other videos, if you've watched my other videos, where I've worked with watercolor and acrylics. So this time I'm going to go the route of liquid ink with the black theme to it, keeping it black and white. I know there's already existing color on here, and that's fine, but I'm not going to add any additional colors, what I'm trying to say. Let's see here. So this is black liquid ink, and I'm just going to get some on my plate here. Not a lot, because a little goes a long way. And I'm just going to use my water brush, and I'm just going to play around. Probably put too much on that. So I'm just going to do light dabs. Starting off light and then working from there. Now if I wanted to dab just to take off some, that's perfectly fine. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with my thinner watercolor and just go over some of those lines. Okay, and I'm just going to go back with my thicker one and just kind of now, because of the gesso, if you have gesso on here, now if it was just regular paper, this would absorb right in. If I just left it as the original paper, it would absorb right in. But because there's gesso, there's a little bit of pooling, which I'm completely fine with. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take this and do the same here. Almost forgot this little guy. And the idea is when you're doing art like this is not to overthink it. I mean, I like to do playing around in my personal journals. So it's, if I start to overthink it, I get stressed about making a mistake or doing something that I end up hating and regretting, and then I don't have fun. And then I won't go back in my journal as much because it's becoming not a happy place. It becomes a stressful place because I'm too busy worrying about, creating perfect art. And this is really just for me, right? So I'm not here to, when I'm working in my own personal journal, I'm not trying to impress anyone. This is just for me having fun and relaxing. Okay. So with this excess I have here, I'm actually going to add a little bit more water to my brush. And I'm just going to do some flecks. Actually going to add some here too. There we go. Okay, so we have that. Now what I want to do is I'm going to hit it with my heat gun so the black can set, and then I'm going to bring in some white as well. So I'll be back. Okay, so that's pretty much dry. So now I've got my jar of gesso. And I'm just going to hit it here and there using my fingers. Just giving it those hits of and it doesn't matter some of that black gets covered up, it's easy to add back. And that's the whole point of doing art. Rarely is it like, oh, at one layer and it's done, right? You add and then you subtract and pull back things and you add again. Gonna have to use the baby finger for this one. Okay, and then I'm just gonna hit it up here with some of this. Some of those dots were still wet. You can see them smearing. So I'm just going in and kind of removing some of that yellow, but not too much because I like the effect of that. Kind of go here like that. Okay, so okay, so now I'm going to hit my heat gun again, or hit it with my heat gun again, so I can go back in and do some more. Okay, so that is nice and dry, I think. Now I'm going back in with my black acrylic that I have here in my dish, and I'm just going to hit it with some more. And I want it like that. Okay. And some of these lines on the petals I'm going to have to reapply, which is perfectly fine because they got covered up with the gesso. Okay. Okay. This one here, I didn't mean to go over. See if I can. I covered up the gesso there and I didn't want to cover it all up on that one petal. So I'm just using a baby wipe with some water because the baby wipe is dry. And I'm just kind of going in a bit. Okay. And then I'm just kind of going a little bit past the lines because coloring within the lines is overrated. All right. Now I'm going to hit it back with some splatters again. Like that. Okay. So we are going to go back to the heat gun again. Okay, so that's dry. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with my black pen, and I'm just going to do some more of the scribbles and go in and reapply the lines to those petals where they kind of got covered up a bit. And it doesn't matter, again, if it's not an exact match. It's about keeping it loose. Okay, so then I'm going to go in with my black jelly pen, jelly roll, and I'm just going to do that as well. All right, a little outside, I like that, keeping it loose. Okay, now yeah, I like that. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do now? I'm gonna go in with I recently got this pen. I got it at Staples. It is a Uniball Signo Broad. It's gold. I love it. It's really beautiful. It's a beautiful pen. So it's almost like a jelly roll pen. So I'm not going to do the center of the flower. I'm just going to go over the petals and just kind of add that hit of gold outline. There we go. Love it. Might go in with this. Just come on. Hit it with some. And then I can go in. This has just got acrylic paint in it, slightly diluted with water so that it'll go through the long needle. Okay, and hit it here. Little hits. Okay. I love it. I have my window open and I can hear the birds. Okay, there we go. I think that's it. So that was done on a dollar store sketchbook that I've turned into my art journal, my personal art journal. Nice and simple, using just a little bit of gesso, and really the gesso could have been used, to replace that you could have just used white acrylic paint. So, but I always use my gesso a lot more than I use white acrylic. So yeah, and then some black liquid ink, acrylic ink, so, and a watercolor brush. Nice and simple. I love that. There we go. All right, well, I hope that you found that inspiring and it inspired you to, you know, think about using something that is so inexpensive and turning it into something that's beautiful, that, you know, it's just looking outside the box and seeing beyond the inexpensive pages, and that you can do it up and do all sorts of fun art in it. But I hope you're having a fantastic day and your week's been going really good. And thank you so much for watching, and take care of yourself.